Really, who's been throwing snowballs? Yeah, you get it? Right, sorry. Welcome to this week's video. This is the third go at filming this. I'm not quite sure my phone keeps turning off. I mean, my phone is like complaining and saying, that's enough of your nonsense. If you've never seen one of these videos, I'm a record shop in North Liverpool and I do a weekly flick through video, and I basically moan and mumble about meaningless stuff, and then I show you some records and then encourage you to come to the record shop, and I put gigs on, encourage you to do that as well. Thank you for all the people who sent me pictures of me on their big telly. Say all, like there's like hundreds, there's 2, but thank you for that. And nothing says you've achieved stuff in life more than seeing a picture of your big fat face on somebody else's telly. Does not cry much. Let's not go into that. It never looked like me. Honestly, that photo fit. It's a joke. Right, if it goes off, I'll get as far as the camera. If it goes off, I probably can't be bothered to finish it. So if it just stops, I'm probably not gonna do another video and try and splice them together. Can't be bothered with that. Right, let's give it a ding. Oh, so if I sound jaded, because I've done all this 3 times, and I probably used all my best gags up. So anyway, right, who's dead? Gary Washington, he's dead. Give a ding for Gary. Gary is out of Leonard Skinner and did Freebird, and best time I can remember, about Freebird was you put it on the jukebox to get your money's worth constantly, wouldn't it? You'd be like Freebird, Bohemian Rhapsody, Hotel California, Battle of Hell, get me money's worth. And luckily, refilming this means I won't tell the story that I told in the last video about going to. I'm not even going to mention it because I'll just get asked about it. Dodgy pubs in London and getting kicked out of them. And anyway, who else is dead? That's a long time ago. That's nothing to do with the crime watch. That's a joke. I'm moving on. Right, Topol, he's dead. Zarkov in Flash Gordon, give him a ding. Yeah, sad days. And what can you say? I don't really remember Fiddler on the Roof or anything, but I remember Zarkov, Flash Gordon. That was brilliant. So sorry to see you go. Off you go. I know who else is dead. We're all dead in some way, aren't we? Anyway, turn off, go outside, enjoy life. It's not going to last forever. Honestly, go outside. Throw a snowball. That's what me and my son did this morning, and my wife. He was late to school because we were throwing snowballs. Yeah, that's what it's about, isn't it? Right, anyway. Mystic Meg, she's dead. So, R.I.P. Mystic Meg. Mystic Meg. Do you think she saw that coming? Alright, let's get on. Right, I'm going to keep an eye on the Uzi flip, that is still filming. And it's been getting to about 10 minutes, so this might be short because, the saving grace is it's not working. It means I've got... The bad news for you lot is it means I'm probably going to have to invest into some sort of, decent camera so I can film these things properly. Because I'm not going to stop doing it, because it's just purely for me. You know what I mean? Honestly, come and buy some records. Knock yourself out, but I'm doing this for me. It's like as I say, self-help, therapy, diary type thing, innit? You know what I mean? Right, we'll get to 4 minutes, and then we'll get on with the records, and we'll see how far it gets. And as I say, if it cuts off dead, and he couldn't sit down for a week. Anyway, welcome if you just joined at 4 minutes. Lots of people join at 4 minutes just because I was going to put the timestamp to come and watch the video. So I hope you all enjoyed that joke beforehand. If you were here before, right? So welcome 4 minutes. If you're watching this with the sound turned down, I've started this at 4 minutes. So welcome to the 4 minute mark, and let's get into some of the records that we've got. Right, what have we got? Smokey. This is the 3rd time I've looked at Smokey and a Miracle. The other videos failed. If you just joined. There's some great soul, big soul section. Come over and have a look. Tom has written the comprehensive notes for this. Come in on a Sunday. The first Sunday of every month is when I open. We will get back to every Sundays eventually, but it's the first Sunday of every month for now. Bonzos. Love the Bonzos. Get listening to some of the Bonzos or Viv Stanshall's solo albums. Sir Henry at Rawlinson End. give that a listen. Backstreet Crawler. Yeah, amazing. Free Paul Kossoff stuff, still got a big collection of that. Come and get some of this. Doors, 80s repress. But still, getting collectible. It's just in near mint condition now. These don't look played at all. I must remind you about the gig. I'm going to say it now. Gig 25th of March in the corner. Helen Moore. Helen, I apologise if I've said your name wrong. Free gig. Come support local artist. 4 p.m. Saturday the 25th. And you can buy Hairy P here. Bluebells signed. Is that Younger Heart? Did they do Younger Heart? Did they? Yes. That's on there. Cheery, innit? For the spring, Younger Heart. Do you like cheery tunes? Or do you prefer tunes that make you a bit miserable? Or do you prefer... You know, it's a bit of it. It depends on what your mood is, isn't it? I mean, we all love to mope and put on some mopey tunes, don't we? We love a good... I do. You love a bit of introspection. You know what I mean? I find I get that with listening to... I really like John Grant. And then John Grant and his former band, the Czars. C-Z-A-R-S. That's great for just taking time out and listening to and a bit of, you know, reflection. Give that a listen to. Or a bit of the... any of the... Where a Foxma stuff I really like. It's not all down tempo or anything, but it's just helps you get to a reflective space. Right, blues band. Paul Jones has got the Manfred back together, hasn't he? Or him and Mr. Manfred, and they're touring. The Quo, keeping an eye on me red thing. I'm gonna try and do this in about 10 or 11 minutes or something, because it just switched off. Eric, I'm going to rattle through these. Status Quo. I've done them 3 times. Steely Dan. Oh. Supertramp. Love Supertramp. Completely underrated. Lloyd Cole and his locomotions. Having a commotion, doing the motions. Lloyd. Got 3 Lloyds. I'm just thinking the video's just going to turn off. It's just going to give up. I've got loads of space on the phone as well, but anyway. Abba Dabba Doo, Greatest Hits 1. Jan Ackerman profile. He was in Focus, was he not? Amazing. Oh, just brilliant. Carly Simon. No Secrets. Oh, I was going to start singing some Carly Simon then, but I've held it back. Mike Oldfield box set. You know. Mike Oldfield's your thing. Come and get a Mike Oldfield box set. Bit of classical. We've got loads of classical. Oh no, this isn't classical. The Four Seasons. I just thought of the Four Seasons in my head then. They're Vivaldi. But we do have lots of soul, and we have lots of classical, and lots of pop. But that's soul, isn't it? Four Seasons. 12 inches. Got loads of them. Here's an example of the sort of thing we shove out. £2.50 unless they're individually priced. Really collectible. Desert and the Doms. Layla. Stuff I haven't priced yet, but I'll get to today. The U, BBC Sessions, not $8.99. It's not going to be much more than that, really, but it's not $8.99. That's a double. Tommy, the U, on track. I think it's first. I'm not quite sure. There's a few little things I've got to check on that. Meaty Beaty Big and Bouncy. The U. The Horrible O. Repress. LA Woman. Rhino. Repress. Credence. Repress. Half Speed Master. That'll be something like 20 quid. Maybe 25 quid, something like that. A bit more ooh. Direct Hits. That'll be cheap. That'll be about 10 quid probably. Pete Townsend. What's this? Oh, a 12-inch picture disc. Some other interesting things. Burial. 12-inch. That's last year, I think, or an EP. There's a Burial EP. Caribou album. These are sealed, but I tend to open the sealed stuff and separate the record out. That's all I do when I get new stuff in. And I could play them, but I probably won't play these. Floating Points. Elenia. Unopened. I've got a view on Primal Scream. You might have as well. But this is Demo Delica. So this is the double album of the demo tracks for enormous record, Screamadelica. Well, it's never been my thing. I've never understood it. Just not for me. Right. I actually went record shopping the other day. I found that since I've had a record shop, I've rarely gone to another record shop to just browse and go record shopping. But I went up to see Graham at Defend, and it was lovely to see him. So I bought some records, which was cool because he's got some great records, some new releases in there. And then I said to him, well, you've got a record label, why don't I stock some of your stuff? So he's got 2 releases. There's another third one coming, which I'll get that in as well from his band Voo, V-O-O, and I'm going to get that in. But I've got the releases of the 2 releases so far on his label, Puzzle. So come and get these. These are 20 notes each. Nothing, I'm not taking anything, I'm just giving it back to Graham because I just want to support his record label. So, Silent Sleep. Okay, I think these are coloured vinyls. Look at that, Defend Vinyl Records. Cool, he's got a great record shop. Really happy to support other local record shops. And Graham has got a boss one, and he's doing what I want to do. He's got a cool little shop, and he's got a label. So I really want to get a label set up. Who knows? Maybe give that a ding. We're still on. We haven't been turned off yet. Queen Jazz. No nudie poster. You know, I don't know why I said that. Disappointed. No nudie poster. I don't think so. Anyway, there's a pink poster in these. Nah. Somebody's had it and put it on their wall completely inappropriately. Look at this though. Let's move away from the nudie poster and talk about. This is a great inner sleeve. I'm sure they recorded this album in a basement of a hotel in. Was it Montreux? I think it was Montreux, right? But they got quite a dead sound on this, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, look, I'm a big Queen nerd, and I can probably name all those instruments and who owns them, and what year they had them. I know this drum kit, that's a Rogers Black Ludwig. That is, I think that is 5.5 by 14 wooden Ludwig. But anyway, this exact drum kit, in the Liverpool, there's a music exhibition, or is it British Music, is it BMI? In the White Star building? What's the other one next to it? One of the 3 Graces. It's in there. And I went to it. This is about 3 years ago now. And they had a little exhibition, and they had all sorts of stuff in there. And they had, I just turned the corner, I was by myself, and then this is Black Ludwig drum kit, and I was like, oh, that looks just like Roger Taylor's drum kit from about 1978, 1979 onwards. He had for a good few years. If you watch like the Don't Stop Me Now video and crazy little thing called Love video and stuff like that, maybe even a little Mice of Dust, maybe not. But anyway, it's used in that. Certainly, We Will Rock You, We're the Champions videos. No, not the We Will Rock You video. That's a different kit. I can tell you what it is, but it's a completely different kit. But anyway, so I'm in this thing, and it's there, and I'm looking at it, and I'm going, and as I'm realising that this is the actual drum, it's just jammed in a corner, and there's a little rope around it, and I'm like, you know, you're a nerd about something. I'm looking at like the cymbal stands, and they've got tape on them, and they're all Ludwig branded, like 1970s, and I thought, this is genuine, this is like his real Ludwig drum kit. And they said like, yeah, lent by Queen Productions or whatever. I'm like, holy I was like, I still can't get over it now. So I tell you now, I did touch it, because how could I not? I just kind of leant over and like gave it a little tap. Didn't make that sound, and I was just being up that close. You know, you're just a fan of something, and just being up that close to something that cool. Absolutely made my day. And then there's some dude wrote a book. I'll have to show you it because it's really boring and really nerdy, and it's every single piece of equipment that Roger Taylor's ever used, every single bit. And I've like, obviously I've got sticky notes all over it because it's just so nerdy about it. I'm just interested, and I've gone off and bought drum stuff on the back of it. Some of which has been great, some of which I've sold on. But I emailed this dude who wrote this book, and I said, "Is this the drum kit?" And he was like, "Yeah, that was his 1977. I think it was 78, just before he got his silver one." if you're a big nerd on that sort of stuff. Anyway, look, so let's move on from that. What do you say? That's cool. And this drumming's immense. Massive influence on loads of drummers. Right, some collectibles. I've taken these out of the racks. Pretty much all of them. And I've not priced any new collectibles up. I've got some in the boxes in the back to price up, but I've not got to it. So I'm gonna have to just show you these. Okay, so there you go. This stuff I don't think has been in a video before. So anyway, there we go. XTC, original first press on that. Wasp. I think I might have showed you this. This has got a great essay in it, written by Blackie Lawless. His name's not Blackie Lawless. I don't know what his real name is, but I bet it's something like, I don't know. It's got to be Brian, hasn't it? It's got to be something like Brian Jahansky or something. You know, it's not Blackie Lawless. I mean, Lawless is, so Mr. and Mrs. Lawless. It's not that. Look at that. Wonder Stuff. One of the first bands I ever saw live. Liverpool University. This tour, 1988. Still got my poster. I think I've still got my t-shirt from it. Great. Two of them sadly no longer with us. Let's give a ding out for the bass thing, and a ding out for Martin Gilks, drummer. Sadly, both died quite a long time ago now. The Mind Bomb with the poster. Ooh. Quite hard to get. There's loads of albums, aren't there, which actually shoot up in value when they have the poster. Electric Warrior, Masters of Reality, Let It Bleed. That's not in that league, but still hard to find with the poster. Pearl Jam second, 93, original press on that. Apparently all the different formats are different photos of the sheep. There you go, something you've learnt on a Friday, innit? On your Friday night. Europe, I'm gonna play this. Overkill. Oh God, I love metal. I started to watch, look at that. I've just got around to starting to watch Stranger Things part season 4. Again, looking for some light relief after the Last of Us. Got a bit bored of Benidorm. There's so many Carry On gags you can have, and so many. Once, not Chris Barry, Keith Barron. Once they appeared, I thought this is getting ridiculous, and I've been that. I started watching Stranger Things, and I mean it's great. It's completely ludicrous, and if you take it for what it is, it's brilliant. And this whole kind of, I mean, first thing I remember about the 80s is we all, certainly when you grew up in the 80s, you looked at America, like probably all kids did, and thought everybody lives with like phones on massive long cables and in their rooms, and everybody has access to like Reebok trainers, and everybody wears like the latest stuff, and everybody drives a car and goes to school wearing what they want. And you know, it just wasn't, even in America it wasn't the case. So it's I mean, obviously the story is completely ludicrous, but just the fact that everybody is like got all this stuff, like contemporary stuff for the time, is completely. They've all got Walkmans. I don't have a Walkman. I didn't have a Sony Walkman. Just about. I think I did get like a cheap one, you know, knocked off from not knocked off, but I got a knockoff version of it from Woolies or something. That was about 1987. Anyway, I never did. They're talking about metal, aren't they? And they've got the Hellfire Club and all this kind of metal stuff, and it just reminded me of all those 80s metal bands, and I love a lot of that stuff. Not totally the hair metal, but more the kind of, you know, thrashy stuff. That's it's got the die-cut sleeve, but it's the A2B2. So that's only 15 quid. Wouldn't you believe? Monday, still going. I wonder why I was moving the phone around before. I wonder whether that stopped it. I was trying to show you the poster for the gig on the 25th, Saturday 25th, 4 p.m. Hallamore, free. Henry Mancini. This is great. I nearly kept this because this is right in my wheelhouse, as they say. This has got the streets of San Francisco. And it's all arranged by him. It's got the Rockford Files on it. Oh, God. Right, I'm keeping that out. It's still for sale, but I'm just going to have to play it. That and Overkill. Oh, cool. This is good. I was playing this on CD the other day because I found my CD copy of it, and that's brilliant. The Low Anthem. Oh my God, Charlie Darwin. That's got to be what, 2004. This is an early 2000s, isn't it? I think 2009. Got a load of ska. I got a load of dub, got a load of reggae stuff in. Here's a sample, here's an example of it. Junior Mervyn, Police and Thieves. You all know a little bit about Junior Mervyn, don't you? Police and Thieves, covered by The Clash. Do you remember when I told, if you're an avid follower of this channel, you'll know that Chris went missing, and we didn't really send out a search party, but we just asked people to look for Chris. And do you know where he was? Chris Isaac? Under eye. He was under eye. Probably supernatural forces at work, you know, because they've got nothing better to do than move records around just to screw with me, of course. That's what, if you believe that sort of stuff, which I don't. So get outside, turn the video off, go outside, have a snowball fight with your kids, yeah? Don't be watching me. But thank you. If no more. Oh, brilliant. Such a good album. Annie's song, Chinese Arithmetic, my particular favourites on that. We used to play that in Crime Records when Rob went out, because it's got a bit of swearing in it. So we'd go out, and then we'd lob it on, and we'd be like, oh, it's got swearing on it. And there'd be there'd be nobody else in the shop. We thought we were the business, and then Rob would come back in, we'd have to put Tina Turner back on. Nothing wrong with Tina, but, you know, when you got that, or Faith No More. What's this? Oh, Fripp and Eno. Oh no, Andy Summers and Robert Fripp. Ooh. You know, you get like it's like that album last week with Ronnie Lane and Paul Townsend, that one, and it's just not as good as this should be. You think, oh, this is gonna be, and then and you know something's not quite as good, and you really want to, you try to force it to be as good as it should be in your own mind. Well, if I listen, I think you all know how much I love this band, right? Bluegrass Psych. Get on them, the Dillards. Oh, love them. I'll play that as well. Michael Chapman, sadly no longer with us. Was lucky enough to get to go and see Michael Chapman play. We played in Liverpool maybe 3-4 years ago, supported by Nick Ellis, great Liverpool singer-songwriter, and it was a real honour to watch Michael Chapman. He was phenomenal. He was great, so at ease with the audience. Brilliant, super guy. Cure, got some collectible Cure stuff in. Anything over Cure seems to be like, you know, ridiculous prices. But let's be honest, you can't buy any tomatoes in the shops. Come and buy Pavement albums. Original Pavement, original Sonic Youth. There's all stuff on my wall. But I'm showing you that I've got some cool stuff. Zoo. Shout out to Elliot in Dig Vinyl, because I went in and one day he was playing, not on this album, but playing one of the tracks by Zoo. And I was just like, this is what a record shop should be. I went, what is that? And he told me what it was and told me it was used in a heavily sampled track. And I was just like, oh my God. And he sold me the album that was playing. It's exactly what record shops should do. And then I hunted this out and it just got me into some new music. And that's what it's all about, right? I heavily advise you listen to... It's kind of like a heavy, really heavy early Fleetwood Mac, I think. But really heavy. That kind of bluesy type stuff. But then the track here, Mammoth. Just look that up and give that a listen. It's drony, weird, kind of out. It's a trip. Give it a listen. I love it. I'm gonna have to play that as well. Woo! Still going. I think it's because I was shaking the camera around, getting excited before. Red Shoes, original press, highly collectible album. That Joni. This is blue with the blue inner, but it's a US version. Slipknot, picture disc, boom. You know, I do post records out. A lot of them are on Discogs, but if you're watching this from some far-flung place like, you know, Leicester, and you want something posted out, then just drop me a message. Probably best to follow me on the socials and then message me and I can post stuff out. All right. Oh, got a niggle on my back. I don't know if I've told the story in this video or the other one, because I've done them. I can't remember. But I was talking about having a niggle in my back, and the fact that one of the things you do is you lie down on the floor and stretch your legs out. You know, it's the best way to get the niggle out your back. And I was doing it the other day, and you know, when you're lying down on the floor, I don't know about you, but if you're doing exercises and stuff like that, you kind of do it and you have a little nap. You're like lying there going, I'm all relaxed now. Oh, I'll have a little nap. And then you have to navigate. I have to look at what furniture I'm going to grab hold of to get myself up. It's ridiculous. I'm only 50. And you kind of like heave yourself up off the floor. And you're like, and then you spend most of your day leaning. I was hugging my wife the other day and she's like, are you leaning on me? I'm like, no. And of course I was, because I was just like holding on to, rather than like, lovely to see you. I was like, Never give up. And if I've told that story already in this video, I'm sorry, but still worth telling again. Never overlook a good opportunity for a good lean. That's my advice for the day. Right, advice for the day. This is Julian Cope's Scott Walker album. I think he renounced it afterwards or something, but it's called The Godlike Genius of Scott Walker collectible. This is an original 1976 copy of it in just totally near mint condition, and there's a stupid price on it, and I'm not going to let it go for any less than that. Probably because I don't want to sell it, right? Probably. I've mentioned Ken Nordine Word Jazz. I've got this copy in. Just give it a listen. Ken Nordine Word Jazz. It's so hip. It's so of its time. It's just listen to it, or listen to Ken Nordine in colours. Give it a listen. It's completely unique, and it's what experiencing new music is all about. It's totally brilliant. The track, I think the best one to start with is Clocks. What time is it? What time is it? It's track 1. It's cool. It's super cool. It's got loads of Funkadelic and Parliament on the walls. We're actually getting up to normal time, aren't we? Parliament, Funkadelic, loads of it still. American. King Tubby, original, but still got, as I say, quite a bit of dub. Root Down, Jimmy Smith. Can't tell you enough. This would be one of my Desert Island disc tunes. I think I've got about 4, but this would be on Root Down. God, it's just so cool. It's just so cool. And sampled for this album, of course, original press of that. So if you know this album and you know Root Down on there, you've got to go and hunt out Jimmy Smith. I just bought loads of copies. I'm not making any money on these. I just bought them because I had to have them in the shop. So I've got about 3 copies of that. Just cleared out all the Discog sellers and just have them in my shop because I absolutely love those albums. Right, give that a ding. What's next? Did I mention? Right, I have a tendency, I don't want to embarrass anybody, but I have a tendency to jabber on. So somebody came in last week and paid, but it didn't go through, and they went out, and it was, I know you watch these videos, so if you think it's you, just give us a call back. It was for 15 quid, not a lot, but what's happened is I'm so a jabber that I just don't check the stuff. I'm just like, yeah, see you, come on, what's the gig? Yeah, great, have a cup of tea, blah blah blah. So sorry, that didn't go through. It was for one record beginning with L, one record beginning with A. So you probably know who you are. So next time I see you, I'll show you that. That didn't go through. My fault. I'll give you a discount. What else? Where's Dolly? Did I mention that? Thanks for the guesses. Nobody's got it right. I don't want the phone to go off, but did I show you the CDs? I'm basically moving out, so I brought all my, well, not all, that's about a third of them, CD collection into the shop, and they're just to play. They're not to sell. I've got CDs for sale, but they're the ones that just play. You know what I'm saying? This is quickly just turning into my home. Honestly, I just need a hammock, and that'll be that. Right. What else? Oh yeah, listening to Dire Straits the other day, Telegraph Road, and I thought, you know what? Get slagged off Dire Straits, don't you? But imagine if Bruce Springsteen had written that song, wrote that song. It'd be like one of his most classic, famous songs, wouldn't it? It sounds so Springstein. It's easy for you to say. It sounds so much like Springsteen. I couldn't believe it, but you know, brilliant. Telegraph Road. And then what do? They just go and follow it up with Private Investigations. Oh, the rest of the album, bleh. But those 2 tracks, immense. Right, so come into the shop. Got the gig on the 25th, which is Helen Moore MAW. It's free. I'm walking really tentatively. I've managed to get this far. It's free, so come in and see that. Just, you know, RESPECT, right? RESPECT, yeah. And be nice to one another. And don't do anything stupid, you know. Have a little think. don't do as I do. Do as I say. And if you think that's a stupid thing to do, don't do it. And then, to show you this, it might turn off in a minute, but look. I can't remember if I showed you that at the beginning of the video, because as I say, I've had about 3 goes at it. Got a chest set in, and I've opened with my Sicilian defence. I don't know what that means. If you want a game of chess, come in. I'm dreadful. You'll win. Even if you can't play chess, and I teach you how to play chess, you're still going to beat me. Right. Okay. Right, that's it. All right. Have a nice evening, whatever you're doing. Have a drink on me. I'm not paying for it. And I'll see you next week. Oh, there's not going to be a Friday video because I'm moving house. And I've got to get the... More important is for me to get my Sky Telly in. You know what I mean? So I'll be doing that. So I'll try and do something Thursday night and post it, which means you actually won't know the difference. So I don't know what I'm talking about. There's nothing new in that. All right? Sayonara. Bye.